Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the NoDQ.com live recap of Monday Night Raw for January the 17th, 2022, as we continue on the road to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Martin Luther King Day edition of Raw. WWE also was up against football. We had a playoff game, and that was quite the competition, I'm sure, for WWE. Anyways, shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership and support. Good old JM Jeff Meacham, longtime No DQ contributor, sent in a $5 super chat. Just wanted to let everybody know that the global premiere of the open mic night will be over on the Jeff Meacham Network as soon as I sign off. Make sure you guys check that out. Jeff Meacham going live after this with open mic night. Should be an interesting show. But first, of course, we have to get through Raw. Oofman Entertainment says he's currently watching the football game. I'm sure you're not the only one, Oofman. I'm sure a lot of people have been watching the football game this evening over Monday Night Raw. Would not shock me if Raw does one of its lowest numbers, if not its lowest numbers ever, because typically by this time of the year, WWE does not have any more football competition, but they were up against a playoff game this week. It could be tough this week. Next week, they should see a bit of a turnaround. They usually do, but it'll be later than usual. We kicked off Monday Night Raw with big-time Bex. Don't call her the man anymore. Becky Lynch. She talked about the Royal Rumble, of course. She said that she gave Doudrop the biggest opportunity of her career by helping her out last week, giving Doudrop the match at the Royal Rumble. And Becky Lynch referred to her as Doo-Doo. I guess that's what we'll be referring to Doudrop as from now on. She is Doo-Doo. And speaking of Doo-Doo, she arrived and said that it was not Becky that got her the match at the Royal Rumble. She did it. She earned this match. And she warned big-time Bex to stay out of her way for this tag team match. You know, one of those can they coexist tag team matches on Monday Night Raw. We had Bianca Belair arrive. One of these segments where people are interrupted by other people. And Bianca said that Becky is scared, and that's why Becky interfered in the number one contenders match last week. Liv Morgan arrived, what a shocker. Said that she is going to be in the Royal Rumble. So both Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan have declared themselves for the Royal Rumble. All right, then. Doo-Doo started to snore during all this. She was kind of bored with it. She wanted a referee in the ring to get the match going. And after the first commercial break, we had our tag team match. Holla, holla, holla. Doo-Doo broke up a pin attempt on Becky Lynch from Liv Morgan. And then Becky tried to use the ropes to pin Liv, but was unsuccessful. Becky hit the manhandle slam. However, it was Becky's own partner, Doo-Doo, breaking up the pin. And then Doo-Doo attempted to pin Liv Morgan, but she was not the legal woman. So she had to tag herself in, and then she hit her crossbody splash to pin Liv Morgan. Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat says, the lighting makes you look really pale. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. The computer can cause the lighting to change sometimes at random. And yeah, kind of makes me look like Dracula. We're past Halloween, but what the hell. So yeah, a couple of thoughts on this segment. Well, bored with the whole can they coexist tag team match. And even though they did not coexist, they still picked up the win. So Poor Liv Morgan. People thought she was going to perhaps get this big push. Well, probably not. Marquand 1976 with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, we need a Can They Coexist t-shirt. No, we really don't. And please do not give WWE ideas. I beg of you. I plead with you, Marquand. I do not want that shirt. But I'm sure there are WWE e-drones out there that will buy up those t-shirts like they're hotcakes. $2.99 at Denny's or IHOP. Probably Denny's. Mr. Anderson with a $2 super chat says, nice shirt, Aaron. Thank you. I appreciate that. Big Simpsons fan going way back to 1990. How old am I? The fact that I was in second grade and people were talking about The Simpsons. This was 1990, and The Simpsons is still on television to this day. Man, the time flies. Anyways, after the match was over, Doo hit the bonsai drop on Becky Lynch to build up her momentum heading into the pay-per-view. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Psycho Jet Black says, seriously, why do people think Liv Morgan is going to be a major star in WWE? At best, she'll be like Zack Ryder, a mid-card babyface that rarely wins. She had a pretty good following, and she's good in the ring. Unfortunately, I think this storyline, her little program with Becky Lynch, kind of exposed her lack of mic skills, and that's not really going to do her any favors. You know, that'll put her in the John Morrison category of somebody who can go in the ring, but doesn't really have the charisma or mic skills to be at that top level. And maybe she'll gain it at some point. You know, practice makes perfect. The more she's out there, the more she's doing it. Maybe one day she'll get great as far as being a personality goes. But yeah, it didn't exactly light the world on fire. And now she's pretty much back in her previous position. She really did not get elevated much from this angle with Becky Lynch. You could blame that on WWE. You could blame it on her. I don't know. She got an opportunity, but yeah, it looks like it has come and gone, at least for the time being. We had a backstage segment with Edge, Beth Phoenix. They ran into the United States champion, Damian Priest, and he was asking Edge for some Rumble advice since Edge is a two-time winner. And Edge just told Priest to keep doing what he's doing. It is working. And then Beth Phoenix got a note that was apparently from Maurice. Maurice wanted to meet in the ring face-to-face, one-on-one, but Edge said that he's going to. He smells a setup, so he wants to make sure he's out there at ringside. And then they took their leave. Kevin Owens approached Damian Priest. They had a matchup, and he was wearing his tie. They had a matchup scheduled, and he said he wanted a good, clean match. Kevin Owens then went into the ring for the KO show, and he insulted the town that Raw was held in, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then he introduced his special guest, Seth freaking Rollins. And freaking is, in fact, his legal name in WWE now. Owens said that Rollins' outfit looked absolutely marvelous and talked about how he admired the courage of Rollins. Rollins talked about SmackDown, how the Usos could not get the job done when they tried to ambush him on SmackDown. And remember that comment for later. Reigns, according to Rollins, was playing checkers while he was playing chess. And he said that when he beats Roman Reigns at the Rumble, he will be staying on Monday Night Raw, and said that maybe him and Owens could get rid of Bobby Lashley. Owens talked about entering the Royal Rumble match. He said that he will win the Rumble, and then him and Rollins will main event at WrestleMania, the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. And that's when Damian Priest interrupted, because when you have a talking segment in the ring, you got to have those interruptions. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the wheel turns in WWE. Somebody must interrupt. Priest did interrupt, said that they are delusional idiots, and said that Owens better watch out because Owens just might wake up Damien. And then their match started right there after the KO show. We had this match, Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest. Owens caught Priest on the outside with a super kick. Owens hit a splash from the top of the apron to the outside, but then Priest was able to make his comeback. Priest had attempted a superplex, but got knocked down. Owens hit a swanton. Priest kicked out of that, and then Owens countered the reckoning, hit a pop-up powerbomb, but again, Damian Priest kicked out. Damian Priest had hit the what they were calling the South of Heaven choke slam, but there was another kick out. Owens started selling his knee, and Damian Priest, he paused for a moment. Referee trainer was checking on Owens, but of course, it was a fake injury. Owens was just playing possum. He outsmarted the babyface Damian Priest and pinned him with the Stone Cold Stunner. I guess another contender is determined by somebody, the champion, getting beat in a match. There you go. Whatever. By the way, breaking news here tonight on this NoDQ.com recap. Veer is once again coming. He stopped coming for 2 weeks. He took a break from coming, but now he is once again coming. We don't know when he will arrive, but Veer has been sent once again. Will he arrive? You have to tune into Monday Night Raw because you never know when Veer might show up. We then had the Alpha Academy's ceremony to celebrate their tag team title victory from last week. They came down to the ring to Pomp and Circumstance, which I say is blasphemy. You do not play Pomp and Circumstance on this show and have it not reference Randy Savage in any way. Not even an ooh yeah from Chad Gable. Nothing. No reference to Randy Savage. To me, that is unacceptable. You just don't do that. Anyways, Alpha Academy did this promo. Chad Gable was talking about his intellectual abilities and his degree and all of his college accomplishments. He got booed, and he told the people of Oklahoma that they have a slim to none chance of ever getting a degree in anything. Chad Gable praised Otis for a while, and Otis started to talk, but he was interrupted by Matt Riddle, who just happened to have a gown on. Not sure where he got it. I'm not sure if Riddle drove over to a costume shop and bought one, but he had one, and it was supposed to be funny, I suppose, but I was not laughing. I just thought it was a goofy segment. And Riddle said he's proud of them for winning the titles, but wants a rematch. And then Gable said that Riddle and Randy Orton, if they want a rematch, they will have to pass an academic challenge on next week's Raw. All of a sudden, Randy Orton showed up, hit the RKO out of nowhere. Riddle attacked Otis, and then Randy Orton accepted this academic challenge for next week. Boy, oh boy, I am just standing at the edge of the room waiting for this one. I'm all hyped up for this one. Yeah. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, at this rate, Elias will come back before Veer does. Yeah, you might be right on that one. I would not rule that out by any means. Anything is possible in this day and age. We had Nikki Ash interviewed, and she is still a superhero in training, or almost a superhero, or whatever the hell her gimmick is. And she said that Rhea Ripley was the one that decided to flush their friendship down the toilet. And she said that the people of Tulsa, she is the closest thing that they will ever have to a superhero. She is, in fact, the people's hero. So instead of the people's champion, she's the people's hero. So basically, she's the delusional superhero. We'll see if this works. I was hoping maybe they would have done a little bit more, but maybe they could slowly evolve her over the next several weeks, and she gets darker and darker, and she fades away from this superhero gimmick. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I'll give it some time. I'm not gonna crap on it right away. Got a super chat here from D. Martin V, $5. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. He says, any chance that Chad Gable and Otis could have used Lanny Poffo, the genius, for their segment? I would have liked it. I suppose they could have, but then they would have had to pay him and fly him in, and I guess they felt that the genius, Lanny Poffo, wasn't worth it, or maybe the idea never crossed anybody's minds, but I would have popped for it. I would have maybe liked the segment a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little. We had Vince McMahon. They're still doing Vince segments with Austin Theory. Finn Balor is back after being beat down several weeks ago by Austin Theory, and they had a match on Raw. But before the match, Vince warned Austin Theory that if Austin doesn't beat Balor, Vince will violently beat up Austin Theory and then take a selfie and send it to Austin Theory's mom. And Austin Theory's selling it like Vince could really do it. I'm sorry, but you look at Vince now, and Vince cannot beat up anybody. I just don't buy it. So Austin Theory acting scared. I guess it's his boss, but being scared that this 75-year-old man is going to beat you up, yeah, was not a fan of this segment. They need to get Vince off TV, but I've been saying that for weeks now. It's not good. Vince is past his time. He's past his expiration date as far as a TV character goes. We had a very classy, which they do every year, Martin Luther King Jr. video package. Very well done, as they do every year. No complaints about that. Very, very cool that they pay tribute to him every year for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And Hero Villain 5 with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, kind of surprised you were Simpsons after what Bart and Milhouse did years ago in No DQ CAW. You've been following the channel, or I've been following the channel that long. Bart and Milhouse were a couple of juvenile delinquents in No DQ CAW, and they're lucky their run lasted as long as it did. They're lucky I allowed their antics to continue for the amount of time that it happened. But yes, I appreciate that, Hero Villain 5, and thank you for being a longtime supporter. So anyways, we had Finn Balor versus Austin Theory in a match. Pretty basic match here. Balor dominated most of it, which was a giveaway that he was going to lose. He missed the coup de grace, and then Austin hit his finisher, the ATL, kind of like a face to the knee type maneuver. And then afterwards, Austin did a selfie and then beat down Balor again for good measure. Not sure where the storyline goes from here. What's next for Balor? Are they going to have another rematch next week? I don't know. I don't care. I just hope that there's no more Vince. Get rid of Vince, and then maybe there's some hope for Austin Theory. And poor Balor, he's really got nothing going on now. Went from challenging for the Universal title, and now he's losing to Austin Theory. But I get it. He's in a role now where he's trying to put over the younger guys. So we'll see. We'll see if Austin Theory can continue his rise to the top of the card in WWE. A lot of people think he has that potential, but they gotta drop Vince out of this storyline. It's just not working. Backstage, Rhea Ripley cut a promo and said she is going to remind everyone, including Nikki Ash, who she is. And we had a match, or we were supposed to have a match between Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash, but then they were interrupted by the tag team champions. Yes, there is still a women's tag team division in WWE. Don't ask me why when you only have one team. But yeah, they cut a promo and said that Rhea Ripley should be thanking them. And then they talk trash about her, says she doesn't have the guts to be champion on her own. I think Rhea Ripley has guts. I had guts. I watched Guts on Nickelodeon. It was a great show. But anyways, Nikki Ash attacked Rhea Ripley from behind, threw her into the ring steps, and then left. And there was no match. So apparently Rhea Ripley gets thrown into the steps and she cannot compete. This was kind of dumb. Just dragging out this storyline, whatever. Time filler. That's basically all it was. Backstage, we had Reggie and Dana Brooke talking about Reggie's match with Omas, basically how he's done for, but Dana was trying to give him some motivation. But in the background, they were in this backstage area, and you had R-Truth Tozawa, a referee, Tamina. They were eating popcorn, watching these two talk. This was goofy, but typical 24/7 stuff. Pretty much impossible to take seriously. And then we had Reggie versus Omas. Not really a match. Very, very little time dedicated to it. Basically, 24/7 guys ran down. They got beat up. They were trying to chase Dana. Omas took them out. And then Omas got distracted by Tamina because she's a woman. He's got some manners, some decency, this giant evil monster. Reggie tried to take advantage, but of course he was unsuccessful. He got hit with the tree slam, the 1031 for you old school no DQ CW fans. And then Omas put the 1 foot on, scored the easy victory. And yeah, I guess this could have been worse. Omas dominated, so there you go. Then we had Maryse come to the ring for her little one-on-one confrontation with Beth Phoenix. She wanted Beth to come to the ring alone, but of course Beth came down to the ring with Edge, and Maryse said the match needs to be canceled. The fans don't want it. Nobody wants it, but the crowd disagreed. Maryse basically told them to shut up, said that she has the microphone and she could be louder than anybody else because she has the mic. And the crowd was chanting, "You suck." She wanted to be on the same team. She thinks that her kids and Beth Phoenix's kids can have some play dates, but Beth was not having any of it. She said that the match is not off. She will glam slam Maria's ass through the canvas. She went into the ring, and that's when the trap was set. The heels outsmarted the baby faces. The Miz attacked Edge, and then Maryse used her purse to take a cheap shot to a distracted Beth Phoenix. Of course, Beth Phoenix, the veteran in WWE, did not think, wait a minute, Miz is here. Maryse might attack me from behind. Nope. She was dumb. She got distracted, and she got hit with the purse. And as it turns out, it was a loaded purse. Maryse had a brick in the purse. So yeah, baby faces get outsmarted. You guys that have been following these videos long enough, you know what I think about them. Not a fan. And next week they're doing a birthday party. Miz is going to have a birthday party for Maryse. Gee, I wonder how that's going to end. Jay Hunter with a $5 super chat says, "I will be live in St. Louis at the Rumble. Anything I can do to help No DQ? Been a fan since the best and worst videos from 2015. Well, thank you for that, Jay. I appreciate the super chat. And I mean, if you got a No DQ shirt, wear that. If you're by the TV cameras, bring a sign. That's always a cool thing. Or just tell people, anybody you're talking with there, let them know about the channel, let them know about the site. Appreciate it, Jay. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, Raw is like a loaded diaper full of crap. You said it, not me, but thank you for that, Psycho Jet Black. I do appreciate it. We had the Street Profits and the Mysterios backstage talking about the Royal Rumble match, and then we had an 8-man tag team match. The Profits, the Mysterios against the Dirty Dogs, Rudolph and Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. Things broke down early. It was a pretty standard tag team match. Dawkins got the hot tag after a while, and then he cleaned house. Ray and Dominic hit a double 619 to the Dirty Dogs, and then they took down General Aziz or Commander Aziz, whatever the hell his name is. And then Montez Ford tagged in, hit the big frog splash, and pinned Apollo. And that was that. After the match was over, they did a little Royal Rumble angle where the Mysterios dumped over their partners, the Street Profits, and then Ray dumped over his son, Dominic. Dominic was sent over the top rope by his father, and Ray was having fun with this, laughing, doing the John Cena, you can't see me. And yeah, I guess this is the build-up for the Royal Rumble. 4 guys that have pretty much a 0 chance of winning, doing an angle here to set up the Rumble. I mean, I guess it's always possible Montez Ford could win in a big shocker, but I would not be betting money on that one. And whatever happened to Ray and Dominic actually breaking up and having a feud? I guess it could still happen in time for WrestleMania. And Kyle says, I slap my PP on feces. Well, a lot of people do. More power to you. If you enjoy it, then I'm happy for you. We had a Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar video package, which quite frankly, I thought was the best thing on Raw. Really good video package. Nice build up for the pay-per-view. And I liked it. I thought it was very well done. We then had another Alexa Bliss session. Alexa Bliss, for some reason, was allowed back into the office after destroying it last week because, you know, this is WWE, so realism doesn't apply. And the doctor did some word association. All of Alexa's answers to the words, Lily. But then one of the words was imaginary, and Lily got pissed. So the doctor said, time's up. He left, and Alexa Bliss just sat there. And that was that. So, yeah. Got a $5 super chat here. How do you pronounce this? Brytrod. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. It says, do you think Jon Moxley will make a surprise return as part of the Shield and cost Brock Lesnar the title at the Royal Rumble? No. I think it's very, very, very unlikely we see Jon Moxley in WWE anytime soon. And I would be very surprised to see anybody from AEW in the Royal Rumble. I would not get your hopes up on that one. If anybody showed up, it would be Jericho. But even that, I think, is very much a long shot. Not expecting any kind of surprises like that. We then had our main event of the evening, which was Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. You know, the 2 contenders for the title matches at the Royal Rumble, which the problem with even doing this match in the first place is that we all know there's going to be a DQ or a count out. You're not going to have one of these guys lose when they're in the title match at the pay-per-view. That would just be complete insanity. And as bad as WWE writing can be at times, they're not going to have one of these guys lose. So just the idea of announcing this match was ridiculous because I was not convinced for 1 second that there was going to be any kind of a good finish for this match. Like, they shouldn't be booking the match in the first place. So I did not care about this main event. It was a good match, but under the circumstances, there's no way for me to get invested in it when I know it's going to have some kind of screwy finish. Anyways, it was back and forth here between these two. And before I get to this quick recap, Mr. Anderson sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Mr. Anderson. He says, another cringe Alexa Bliss segment. I don't even think bringing, wait a minute, got that down here. I don't even think bringing in Dr. Shelby could save her segments. Well, that would just turn it into comedy, which, I mean, one could argue it already is comedy. So Rollins hit the pedigree, or he attempted to hit the pedigree, and then Lashley attempted the hurt lock. Rollins sent Lashley to the outside, hit a dive. He went for a second one, but he got caught. And then later on, Rollins was able to regain the upper hand. He slammed Lashley's leg into the post, worked over that knee, put on a half Boston Crab, but then he missed the curb stomp. Lashley made a comeback. However, Rollins hit him with the pedigree. Lashley kicked out of that. Lashley hit a really cool-looking avalanche belly-to-belly suplex from the top rope. And that's when you had the Hurt Business show up, attacking Lashley for the inevitable disqualification. And then afterwards, Lashley fought back, beat them up, and back in the ring. Well, actually, I forgot to mention that Lashley speared Shelton Benjamin through the barricade, like what Lashley did to Lesnar at the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view or premium live event. Gotta start making that change. Then Seth Rollins was standing in the ring alone, and as I mentioned earlier, Rollins brought up how the Usos failed to take him out. This time the Usos showed up and attacked Seth Rollins with the super kicks. They left him laying. The last segment was pretty solid, other than the very predictable DQ finish. I did like the end of the show, and I liked the Usos showing up at the end. So that was okay. The video package was good, but man, everything else on this show was just filler. This really felt like an episode of Raw that was up against an NFL playoff game. It really did. So I would have to say, would not recommend for this show. This was a total filler Raw, very skippable. Maybe watch the end of the show. You can watch the YouTube clip and maybe watch the Lesnar Lashley video package, although I'm sure they will play it several times. They'll probably play it during the kickoff show, and they'll probably play it before the match. So really, you don't even have to watch that at this moment. But yeah, it was not a very good Raw. It was quite lackluster. And Michael Wayne says also the NBA. Yeah, they're not going to do a good number. They might do their lowest viewership of all time, which doesn't really mean anything because of the competition that they were up against. But yeah, this was not a show designed to keep people glued to their seats. It was the epitome of a filler show. So anyways, guys, that's Raw. We move on here as we continue our week. We got AEW Dynamite, a lot of interesting news about Cody Rhodes. He is apparently no longer under contract to AEW, and of course, people speculating on what's going to happen. My gut feeling is he'll be staying in AEW, but we'll see what happens on Dynamite. They got people talking, and Cody even said in an interview a couple weeks ago that we're going to be going for a ride that is not what we're expecting, and they're going to do something different. So I am somewhat intrigued as to what's going to happen next. If that's the goal here, then so far it's working. But stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest news and rumors. Give this video a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your week, and I'll be back for a lot more. We got a lot of content coming up this week. Take it easy, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you all next time.